Hello everyone, I thought it'd be a good idea to do a long overdue frequently asked questions video, and apologies that I haven't done as many videos recently, but I've sort of had quite a bad cold and didn't want to do videos, where I had to keep blowing my nose and coughing all over the camera. So I just did Tumbo's videos with his Kevlar piercing bolts for the crossbows, but I didn't really feel like doing much else. So I'm back now anyway, my cold's mostly gone, so that should be all good. So what I want to do is just do a video where I sort of address things I really frequently get asked in comments, and hopefully then people can watch this video and they get a better sort of response to, rather than like a short little reply I'll give them, because I also don't like having to keep repeating myself over and over and over for different people. And if you've got any more sensible questions, just ask them in the comments of this video or other videos, and I'll try and answer them if I see them, because the problems with YouTube is often comments I just don't see for some reason. So anyway, what got you into videos? I'd say, firstly, it's because I've always been interested in the sort of stuff I do videos on, and I've always been quite competent around technology. So I started this channel in 2012, but I've had channels before that which don't exist anymore, as far as I'm aware. And most of those used to be like music related things, whereas this is the first one where I've really kind of done lots of videos actually with a real camera. Obviously there were other videos on my other channels that I did use a camera for, but nowhere near as many. And what got me into it is basically that I sort of wanted to do it as a hobby. I wanted to sort of document it because I know people would find it interesting. And it was about that time in 2012, I think it was about April 2012 when I started this channel, that YouTube were making it very easy to also monetize your videos. So you wouldn't get much from it, but you'd get a little bit of money from doing the videos. So I thought, that's great, I'll keep doing videos on my hobby, and anything I get from it I can put back into getting new stuff. So that's what I did. Then that brings us on to, how do you fund your videos? A combination of things. I work 4 days a week in a blue collar job. I basically work in a warehouse, moving stock around, so you have to be sort of decently fit enough to be able to walk distances and lift heavy boxes, as well as pallet and sack trucks, things like that. And it requires a bit of computer knowledge as well, because I have to fix stock discrepancies on the computer and things like that as well, and investigate things. But so it's alright. Not my ideal job. I think as my ideal job, I just like to do YouTube full time if it be possible, but that's why I do that. I also 1 day a week volunteer for the Blue Cross, and that's an animal rehoming centre, so that's sort of cleaning out and socialising abandoned animals. Next question, are you a prepper? And also, sorry, just going back to the last one, obviously as I said previously, any revenue I make from the YouTube stuff I put back into the YouTube stuff as well. So that's how I sometimes get new stuff and new cameras, because I save up money from YouTube and then put it into new videos. Are you a prepper? Next question. Yes and no. I've addressed this in other videos. I think I'm better prepped than a lot of people would be in this country, but I'm not one of the people who's got months and months of supplies, a massive knowledge on bushcraft and stuff like that. So I'd like to think I do better than most people, but I collect a lot of stuff just because I have an interest in it, not because I'm necessarily collecting it for a prepping use. But I find the subject interesting, and the people I talk to about prepping very knowledgeable. So that's that. Why don't you do more videos on and then insert whichever subject you want? Loads of reasons really. It could be a time factor. It could be that I can't think of a good idea for a video, because I really don't want to be a channel where I keep spamming out very, very, very similar videos, almost to the point they're the same video, like certain channels do, like clickbaity type stuff, just to try and get more views on a certain type of video, and it requires less effort. I like to think, is this new and interesting? Hopefully. Now and again I obviously have to think, I need to do a video really, and I can't think of anything too interesting, so I'll do this. So I do it, but most of the time I like to try and be, unique and interesting with video. So if you'd like to see, for example, more gas mask videos, what you should ask me is, you should think of a good question to do with gas masks that I can try and answer in a video. Like recently somebody said, what would be good masks for children to wear, and then I, went and had a think about that. Whereas, just to say, you should keep doing more gas mask videos, because the thing is with my channel is people subscribe for lots and lots of different reasons, and for different types of videos, and often the people who subscribe for one type of video won't watch the other types of videos, I've realised through looking at the analytics on my channel. So some people do, but a lot of people don't. So I'm not going to just tailor to one type of video and exclusively do that, because if I only did crossbow videos, it would annoy people who like air rifles, gas masks, everything else. And same for any of those subjects. I just try and mix it up a bit, but obviously I don't want to do videos if I can't think of a good idea for those videos. Another question I get asked is, why do I watermark my videos? And people complaining, oh, your watermark's huge, why is it up there? It's not that big, and I make it transparent. The watermark's there simply because my videos have been stolen in the past and put on other sites where they're quite difficult sometimes to get taken down. And by watermarking it, I've got proof it's come from my channel originally. They'd have to crop the video down and it would look really stretched if they wanted to completely get rid of the watermark. And if I even can't get the video taken down, people might Google the watermark and then they'd find my YouTube channel where it's originally come from, because sadly there are some people who just like to steal content and don't make anything of their own. So that's why as a watermark I needed to do it, simply because people were stealing my content. Right, so the next question, safety concerns. Now I get this a lot, and this is one of the things that annoys me, because this is often like a troll sort of comment. They have to work out if somebody's being serious or if they're just being, a bit of a dick. So by safety concerns, what I mean is when people are like, oh, that's really dangerous, you could have killed yourself, you could have killed your neighbours, you could have, whatever. I get it all the time, and sometimes it's really stupid. Like I have a video that says it's a deactivated gun in the video description, I'll probably mention it in the video, and somebody goes, oh no, you've got your finger on the trigger, you could have shot yourself with that, you shouldn't have that, you don't know what you're doing with it. And how I'm just going to put this is, I can differentiate between a deactivated gun and a real gun. As in, if I was given a gun, I'd treat it as if it was a real firearm until I knew otherwise. But what I'm saying is, if I know a gun's deactivated, I don't worry it's going to shoot me, same as if I had a live gun, I wouldn't mess about with it. But there seems to be people who think you can't do that, where you have to treat everything either, as if it's a completely loaded firearms at all times, even if it was a plastic toy. Now, with a deactivated gun, I wouldn't wave it at people, I wouldn't do anything stupid like that, but at the same time, I know a gun with no ammunition in it, with, a blocked up insides, with parts removed, with weldings done on it, isn't going to be able to shoot me with it, so I have no problem touching the trigger, or, anything like that, because it's inert, it can't, even if I had working ammo for it, I couldn't shoot it, so that's my view on that. We also get people constantly saying, oh, when you're shooting in your garden, you're at risk of killing people. Not really. Obviously, I have a very big backstop when I use the crossbow, and I always shoot it at closer range to judge if it's going to hit the backstop or not, then, go further away. I don't, try and zero it in at, like, as far as I can away, and then hope it hits and doesn't go through the fence. But because people keep bringing it up, going, oh no, you might shoot through your fence, behind my house there isn't anything, it's an empty field. And so, I'm not going to hit any cars, although you can sometimes hear traffic in the video, they're not behind that fence. And I do always, although I don't show you this on film, because it would be a waste of time in the video, I will always go out and look, before doing a video to make sure there isn't anybody wandering around out there, but they don't really have any reason to, because it's like an empty field that often gets overgrown and never cut by the council. So, in a worst case scenario, even though I always do, hit what I'm aiming at, normally, if, for example, a crossbow bolt went through my fence, it would land somewhere in an empty field, is the real answer to that. It's not going to somehow, hit a car or hit a child or something like that, because I always check before doing videos there's nobody behind my fence, and I always, don't mess about when I'm aiming at a target. I take that very seriously. I sometimes get people who will look at really old videos I've done back in 2012 or whatever and say, oh, you muzzle swept your foot at this point in the video. Yeah, I'm more careful about that now, but you're literally, looking for problems at this point. So I generally don't listen to those people, especially when somebody starts off a comment like, you really need to stop making videos, you're a danger to everyone. Yeah, I don't care about that at all. I think really you're more likely to be killed by a dangerous driver on the road by a massive percentage than somehow me shooting you when I'm in my own garden. I also get comments like saying, how did you know somebody wasn't in your garden before you were shooting? Well, because then they'd be trespassing anyway, wouldn't they? But I'd think I'd know if they were in my garden. I constantly get stupid comments like that. So yeah, I do take safety seriously, but it gets to the point where I think people don't want you to have any sort of fun whatsoever. So yeah, I just don't, pay any heed to them really. I often get questions as well, can you review a very certain product? And often the case is no. Basically, if it's something that I'd be buying anyway, then yes. But unless I'm getting sent it for free, no, because I simply can't afford to do it, because I don't do this as a full-time thing, and I wouldn't have to spare money to do it. So what I mean by that is when somebody says, oh, I've seen this crossbow that's like £1,000, can you do a review of that because I'm thinking of buying it for myself? No, because I don't have the crossbow and I can't afford to spend that sort of money on a single crossbow to do some videos with it. So often, well, like I wouldn't say often, but yeah, sometimes I can do a review of something if you ask, especially if I already have it or it's cheap and I'd be interested in getting it for myself anyway. But I can't simply afford to just review stuff if people say, oh, I saw this, it looks cool online, can you get it? So there's that. So I thought, although I sort of mentioned this, I'd go over what I'd say are good rules for the comments, because I sometimes get sent messages like, you blocked me, why did you block me, from outside of YouTube. So basically, the phrase I really like is play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And what that means is, don't do anything stupid in the comments and then not expect, something to happen. If you on purposely go around antagonising even me or other people in the comments, don't expect me, if I keep seeing you making rude comments, not to block you. It's really simple as that. I'd say sensible rules for the comments is, first check the question hasn't been answered in the video or in the comments. If you're asking if I've already done a video on something, look on my channel first, because often I'll keep getting comments where somebody says, oh, can you do a video on this? I'm like, look at my channel, I've done loads of videos on those things already. Read what other people have said or I've said, because often I've already addressed the comment and then people keep asking the same question because they can't be bothered to look at the comments. Obviously, you don't need to be really polite, but just be courteous. Don't start swearing at me and don't expect to be blocked, because quite often I'll get a comment that starts off, really shitty, and then I'll just block the person without even finishing reading their comment, because, I don't need really free speech on my channel, because, this isn't some sort of business where I have to be, some customer services representative and have to listen to abuse from people. There's lots and lots of good comments I could be reading instead, so feel free to ask sensible questions. If you do have any real concerns, write them up properly and I'll take them seriously. I don't mind constructive criticism at all. I often, comment back with people who have that. You don't have to agree with everything I say. Quite often there's also people who are more knowledgeable on me than a certain subject, because, I collect a wide range of stuff, so they'll know more about a very specific thing. So yeah, you can correct me, I have no problem with that. But don't start arguments as well with other people, because quite often I'll have somebody who will make a good comment. They don't, I don't have any problem with them. They might not agree with what I've said, but they'll say in a very, well thought out way, I don't agree with your video because, and then we'll talk about it. And then somebody will come in, being a bit fanboyish, rushing to my aid and start, causing a flame war in a comment. So, just because you agree with me doesn't mean that, you can be a dick in the comments. Just be respectful to whatever the person said. And if somebody keeps making stupid comments over and over, they get a block. So basically, if you're polite enough in the comments and talk like a normal person, then you're never going to get blocked. But don't start arguments with people. Don't start, insulting me. Don't start, although I don't block people for this, don't, keep asking the same questions over and over and over, because, that's just stupid. Check before you ask a comment. It's like the phrase, try Googling it. If you've got something really simple to ask, you could try Googling it or try looking on my channel already. Don't, but that's that one, because that's one I thought I'd bring up, because I keep getting, comments where I'm having to block people where they could have maybe avoided it. Where do I buy my stuff? So this is like, where do I get any of the stuff I do for videos? All over the place, basically. Some stuff I get from our army surplus stores that are still around, or online army surplus stores. A lot of stuff is from Amazon and eBay. I get quite a bit of stuff from Blades and Bows, so check them out. All the Through Night torches were sent to me by Through Night to do reviews of. But in general, all over. Because sometimes I'll get asked like, oh, can you provide me a link for this specific thing you reviewed? and not always know, because sometimes I might get something, you know, as a one-off, like say somebody's selling a second-hand gas mask on eBay on an auction. I win the auction, so obviously I can't link you to where I bought it because it was eBay. But if it's a product you might be easily able to get, and I haven't said I got it from a specific site, just search Amazon or eBay for the thing and you'll probably find it. I get asked that a lot with jet lighters. You know, where can I buy this jet lighter? When I said in the video I bought off Amazon, I bought off eBay, and there's like, you know, 20 sellers selling these at different prices. So just find one that's cheap and ships to wherever you are, because that's another thing. Obviously I'm in the UK, and I get a lot of people in the US asking me where I bought it from, and often it's a place that only ships to UK. So you really have to look at your end and find where you can get the stuff sent to you. It's not really my job, you know, to hunt down, you know, things that will ship to individual countries at a good price for people. You can kind of do your own homework and do that. So yeah, I get my stuff from a variety of places. Blades and Bows is worth mentioning again, because they've been really good to me. They're very good customer services. They have a lot of interesting stuff in stock at decent prices, and they sent me that free crossbow I did a review on at one point. So yeah, I do like Blades and Bows. I always try and support them when I can, when I've got the money to spend. And lastly, I could always end up doing more videos like these if I think of more things that people commonly ask. Can I do video sharing with you, like video responses with you? Yes, as long as they're relevant. What you can do is post a video URL in the comments section of a video, and what will happen is it will probably not post it straight away, and it will go to my spam folder, and then I can check that every now and again. And if you've posted a video that's relevant to my video and is sensible, I'll always approve it. Like, sometimes people like to put their own gas mask videos in the comments, and I'll approve those because that helps, you know, smaller channels get seen. But you know, like, they took away the proper video response thing ages ago, which I quite liked on old YouTube. But what you have to do now is just post a video URL in the comments, and then if it's approved by the video uploader, your comment actually is a thumbnail for the video. So that's fine. So that's all I can think of for now. If you've got anything else, write a message in the comments, and I'll think of it. I'm sure I can do another one of these videos at some point, because I'm sure I've missed stuff off, but it's already getting long enough anyway. So there you go. Hope this is interesting for some people, and I'll see you with more videos.